Most gardeners are still digging deep holes thinking it gives their plants a strong start, but that one habit is quietly weakening your entire garden. If your plants start off okay and then stall yellow or never quite reach their potential, this is usually where it begins. When you dig deep and pour water into that hole, you're creating a saturated pocket that looks helpful, but it's actually low in oxygen, unstable and disconnected from the most active part of your soil. Roots drop into that zone quickly, but they don't develop strength there. Nutrients get pushed down, microbial life slows, and instead of spreading outward, roots become narrow and inefficient. That's why your yields stay low even when you think you're doing everything right. Before we fix that, one thing that made a huge difference for me was having a consistent way to feed that top layer of soil without waiting months for compost. I use a 4-liter electric composter in the kitchen to turn everyday waste into usable material quickly. It solves a problem most people don't realize they have, either using unfinished compost or not applying it often enough. With this, I can feed the surface regularly, right where roots actually grow. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. Now here's the part most people overlook. The strongest roots don't grow deeper. They grow smarter. There's this long-standing belief that deeper roots mean stronger plants. It sounds logical, but in real soil conditions, it's incomplete. Roots don't chase depth, they chase conditions. They go where oxygen is available, where moisture is balanced, and where microbial life is active. And in most gardens, that's the top 5 to 10 centimeters of soil. That layer is alive. It's warm, aerated, and constantly cycling nutrients. When you shift your focus to supporting that layer, instead of bypassing it, everything about your plant's growth changes. I've tested this across raised beds and containers, even side by side with the same crops. The difference shows up fast, but what's happening underground is where the real story is. This is the old-school trick most modern gardeners ignore. Before synthetic fertilizers and heavy irrigation became standard, growers relied on surface management. They didn't dig deep holes for every plant. They built up the soil from the top down. The method is simple, but it's powerful. Instead of digging deep, you plant into firm, well-prepared soil and focus on saturating the surface layer consistently. Not lightly watering, not flooding, controlled saturation. You apply water slowly across the surface until the top 5 to 8 centimeters are fully hydrated. Then you stop. That's it. No deep soaking, no water-filled holes, just a stable, active zone where roots naturally want to grow. This is where the transformation starts happening underground. When you maintain moisture at the surface, roots respond by spreading laterally instead of diving downward. That lateral spread creates density, and density is what gives roots their strength. You don't get a few long, weak roots. You get a network, thousands of fine root hairs working together. That's what improves nutrient uptake, stabilizes the plant, and supports faster growth. I pulled up 2 lettuce plants during one of my tests. One grown with deep watering, the other with surface saturation. The difference was obvious. The deep-watered plant had a thin root structure that extended downward. The surface-grown plant had a thick, fibrous mat just below the soil. That's the kind of root system that drives real performance. Most watering advice misses this one critical detail: consistency. It's not just where you water, it's how stable that environment stays. If your surface dries out completely and then gets flooded again, you're constantly disrupting root behavior. Microbial life slows down, nutrient cycling gets interrupted, and roots hesitate to stay in that zone. Surface saturation works because it keeps conditions steady. In hot climates or during peak growth, this might mean watering lightly but frequently. In cooler conditions, you reduce frequency but still focus on maintaining that top layer. The goal is balance, not extremes. So there's one layer you really need to protect if you want this to work for the long haul. The surface absolutely needs cover. Without mulch, even the best watering method just, well, becomes inefficient. Moisture evaporates fast, temperatures swing up and down, and you end up losing the stability you're working so hard to build. Now, a 5 to 8 centimeter layer of organic mulch, yeah, it really changes everything. It locks in moisture, keeps soil temperature steady, and as it breaks down, it slowly feeds the whole system. Personally, I've used straw, dry grass, and shredded leaves, and honestly, I've seen the same result every time. Better moisture retention and way stronger root systems. In one bed, just adding mulch cut my watering frequency by nearly half, all while my plants grew even better. That's not just a small improvement, that's a real system shift. Now let's connect this to feeding, because honestly, this is where most people struggle. You can't separate watering from feeding. When you apply compost or nutrients at the surface and follow it with controlled saturation, you're guiding those nutrients exactly where they need to go. Not too deep, not wasted, not locked away. This is why small, frequent applications outperform large, occasional ones. You're working with the plant's active zone instead of trying to force nutrients into deeper layers. That's also why having quick access to compost makes a difference. You're able to respond to the plant's needs in real time instead of waiting. There's one mistake that will undo all of this if you're not careful: overwatering the surface. Saturation is not the same as flooding. If the top layer becomes waterlogged, oxygen disappears and roots start to weaken. You end up recreating the same problem you were trying to avoid, just closer to the surface. You want soil that holds together, but still breathes. A simple check is to press your fingers into the soil. It should feel moist and slightly firm, not sticky or collapsing. That balance is where root growth thrives. This is where most gardeners start seeing results they didn't expect. Once you dial this in, things start improving across the board. Plants establish faster, leaves become more consistent in color and size, growth becomes predictable instead of uneven. Even in hydroponic systems, the same principle applies. Roots perform best when water and oxygen are balanced, not when they're overwhelmed by excess moisture. Understanding that connection changes how you approach everything, from planting to feeding to daily maintenance. If you've been digging deep holes, it's time to move on from that method. It's outdated for most growing setups today. You don't need depth to build strong roots, you need the right conditions in the right place. The old-school surface trick works because it aligns with how plants actually grow. It supports the most active layer of soil instead of bypassing it. And once you see the difference in root structure alone, it becomes hard to go back if you're serious about improving your results. This is one of those changes that pays off quickly and consistently. Subscribe if you want more practical, tested methods like this. Real techniques that work in actual gardens, not just theory. Because when you understand how soil, water, and roots interact, you stop guessing and start growing with precision. Share this with someone still digging deep holes. It might completely change how they garden.